Well, today is March 4th. Come out for a quick walk this morning and hit one here. Just a little 4-point side, but hey, we'll take it. I've been walking lots of miles and I mean, haven't found anything decent in a while. I mean, this isn't anything special, but at least it's fresh. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around here and we're gonna look for a couple more in here, hopefully. Just in here walking around, you can see it's all tore up. I don't know how well my phone's gonna pick it up. Didn't bring the good camera today, but anyhow, I come walking down right through this log right here, and there it lays. Pretty decent one. I mean, it's nothing special, but it's fresh, so that's pretty cool. We'll take it. Well, still out here walking around with this one, and I was getting a little angry because I knew there had to be more sheds in here, and started walking back towards the truck, probably 500 yards away from the truck, and I look over and I see that thing laying right here. This thing, biggest one of the year. Yeah. I mean, that's a shed there, boy. We're gonna look around for his other side. It's gotta be here somewhere. So out here walking around and I come up on a side-by-side match set here, little 8-point. Sweet. Yeah, that's a nice buck. Today is March 5th. We're back out here looking for the big one I found yesterday. No luck so far. Pretty early in the morning here yet though. Stumbled up on a older one here in this greenbrier thicket. So we're gonna go ahead and pick this one up and keep moving. Well, I was just coming through this greenbrier thicket. It's real thick in here. And the deer got a pretty decent trail coming through here, and right there. Maybe last year's or the year before. It's got some green on it, but not the one we're looking for, but we'll take her. Still out here walking around, come on the other side of the ridge, and found this little freshie here. Pretty cool. Still not the big one we're looking for, but hopefully he's here somewhere. Well, we're still in here walking around. Still March 5th, and still looking for the other side of that big one I found there yesterday. And I stumbled up onto one of his sides from last year, which is pretty crazy. We're about 500 yards away from where I found that one yesterday. And yeah, it's chewed up a little bit, but not as bad as it could be, I guess. But still pretty neat to find the shed off the one we're looking for. So hopefully that means his fresh one is somewhere around here and we can scoop it up too. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around and pick this thing up. All right, so still in more scratchings from this year. There must have been some acorns in here from last year if this deer was in here messing around. But yeah, that's a pretty heavy shed. And that is him from last year. That's the side I'm looking for this year, but not this year's. So maybe there's two of them here somewhere. We're gonna keep looking around in here. Hopefully they're fairly close to each other. Alrighty, so you just seen me pick up this big shed antler right here. This is off a deer didn't have any trail camera pictures of, no history really, but just a big 5-point side. Actually ran into a guy that was hunting this deer, had trail camera pictures of him, And he was actually looking for a shed this year, but could never find it. I stumbled onto it. Couldn't find his other side. There's some private ground around, and that's where I think it's at. But about 430 something yards away, I found his side from last year. Got chewed on a little bit, but I mean, he put on a lot of inches from last year. I think this shed's from last year, but it's got, you know, typical age from laying out in the weather all year round. Squirrels, I mean, could have chewed it a lot worse, but I'm glad I found this one before it got chewed up. Bases are, you know, about the same. He really didn't get any more mass. He just grew a lot more length on the points in the beam, which this beam over here is probably missing, oh, a good 2 inches probably. But yeah, just wanted to give you a better look at him. I was a little excited when I found the shed. Didn't film it a whole lot. I was really just trying to find the other side, but no luck. I was pretty excited. That's my biggest shed antler of 2025. Well, just got off work, decided to come out for a quick walk this evening, and glad I did, because I come into this spot, there's not a whole lot of deer sign in here, not a whole lot of feed sign either, but there's a little bit of greenbriers in here and some ferns, but these deer, they still like the winter in here for some reason. But come walking down off the hill, and I could see this nice 5-side laying here. Well, would have been a nice 5-side, but got busted up and squirrels started chewing on it a little bit. But hey, we found it, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pick it up. But hopefully we can find his other side. He's a pretty nice one. Well, here's kind of where I'm at. This was timbered, I don't know, probably 20 years ago. I don't know, the trees are just starting to get decent size in here, but there's all greenbriers and a little bit of ferns in here. But apparently they were in here because they were scratching around in here. That one hillside over there is just dirt. But there's the shed. It would have been a nice one if he wouldn't have busted every point he had. But yeah, that's a pretty solid antler. Been down for a while. No wax ring, but heck yeah, that and there's a nice one. Well, today's March 11th. Come out for another walk here after work, and pretty close to where I was last night. Again, there's really no feed sign in here, just ferns and a little bit of greenbrier. But we're on a south facing slope, and these deer, they were in here. They got it all tore up in these ferns, and we got a nice little 4-point side here. Nothing real big, but it's a fresh shed, so we'll take it. Not gonna be too picky, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around and pick this thing up and keep walking around. Hopefully there's some bigger ones in here. You can see where it's all scratched up. Some buck turds up there, and right there lays his shed. I'm assuming he's probably just in here either bedded or feeding. Probably got twisted up in these greenbriers and shed. But just a little guy. He's been down for quite some time. Still got the wax ring, but pretty cool. Nice little shed. We'll take it. We're still out here walking around March 11th, and almost made it back to the truck. And I seen some diggings up around this one oak tree, and I left my other sheds down at the bottom of the mountain, so I didn't have to carry them up the hill. Not that they're big or anything, but started walking up here, and I could see there was like a little patch of trees here, and I could see some white tines sticking up. And sure enough, it's a nice 4-point side. We actually have the other side to this deer. I found it probably about a mile away, it was the day that I was out on the e-bike and found a bunch of horns, but glad we matched them up. I was looking everywhere for this thing on the other mountain. Turns out it's over here on this side. So just goes to show you how far these deer will actually travel with the other side. It's pretty crazy, but never thought it would have been over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around and pick it up. Alrighty, so this is kind of the area I'm looking in here. Just all open timber. Not a lot of oak trees in here. It's mainly all poplar. And there's a little bit of ferns in here. And this deer was just going up, I guess, probably to this oak tree up here where there's a little bit of diggings around it, or he was just bedded close to it on this hillside. And shed his other side here. You can see where there was some rubbing on this tree where he might have been trying to get it off, but maybe not. But yeah, we'll go ahead and pick it up. And that's a heck of a shed. That brow tine. That brow tine's crazy. I mean, it's a good probably 5 inches long. And he's pretty cool because his brow tine goes pretty far up his main beam. Glad it's not chewed up. That's all I got to say. I'd have been real pissed. But we're gonna keep walking around in here and see what else we can find. So I picked this shed up. I don't know, it was either the first or second shed hunting video. Really don't remember. But I was out on the e-bike that day and I found the big set, big 8-point set, and I found this single. And I looked everywhere for his other side in that area. Could never find it. And went on another mountain about, I don't know, probably almost a half-mile away, and I ended up finding this side. There was no feed. I mean, there was a little bit of acorns in there, but really I think he was over there just soaking up the morning sun. But just a nice public land deer. He's got the big brows on him. He's just a pretty deer. But yeah, there's gonna be some good ones running around. I like how his brow tines sit real high too up his beam. That's pretty cool. He was pretty easy to recognize when I found this shed. I knew right away what deer it was. But yeah, never some of the finds in this video. Some big ones. We're still in here walking around. Still have these that we found and made it probably, I don't know, 60 yards from where I found the big one. I look over and here lays another one here. Just a little 3-point side, maybe 2. Doesn't got the wax ring. Don't think it's a match to that other little one I got. But yeah, pretty cool. 3 mountain sheds. We're doing pretty good.